Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and it's that time of the week again to explore what is happening in the secondary market with this edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. And I'll tell you what's happening. Everything is spiking. Now, partially that's because Commander Legends just came out, and a lot of players are trying to build new Commander decks around the new cards. However, this was also a big shopping weekend. We get a lot of card spikes as certain cards dry up in the marketplace, even if it is temporary. We do have a ton to talk about today, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get into it. And we're going to begin, as we always do, with Standard, your top 7 standard legal cards that have lost value this week. Number 7 is Seagate Stormcaller. This goes down 34 cents to $3.52. This hasn't seen a lot of play outside of Commander, but it does see a little play there. Number 6 is Turntimber Symbiosis. This goes down 34 cents to $9.18, and this is another card that doesn't see much standard play. Sometimes you'll find it in Selesnya Blink. But unlike the previous card, you will see this in a lot of other different formats. For example, Pioneer, it's in Oops All Spells, sometimes Mono Green Planeswalkers there. In Modern, it's in Oops All Spells there, as well as Amulet Titan and more. And it also sees some Legacy and Commander play. Number 5 is Morog, Fury of Akum. This goes down 43 cents to $6.14. Yet again, we have another card that doesn't see a lot of standard play, but this is a fairly popular Commander and has seen play in a lot of other decks in that format as well. Omnith Locus of Creation and Obun Moldiah Ancestor are two of the more popular ones, but now it is seeing increased play too in Averna the Chaos Bloom and Hans Eriksson. Number 4 is Lithoform Engine, down 51 cents to $13.01. This is a very popular Commander card, but it is losing some value as more packs are getting cracked and the card is getting circulated. It's excellent in Kozilek the Great Distortion and much more in the Commander format. Number 3 is Teferi, Master of Time. This goes down 53 cents to $13.99. This sees a little standard play, sometimes in Jeskai Control, for example. It has seen Commander play in Atraxa Praetor's Voice and more. Now it is seeing increased play there in builds like Navineral Urborg Tyrant, Obeka Brute Chronologist, and the partner commander Sekishima of 1,000 Faces, and Tavesh Zat Doom of Fools. Number 2 is Brazen Borrower, down $3.55 to $31.81, but this is the copy from the list, which is still very expensive, finally starting to normalize a little bit anyway. In Standard, you'll find this in Dimir Rogue, sometimes Temur Ramp and more. It sees Pioneer play, it sees Modern play, it sees Legacy play, and yes, it does see Commander play too. It is in the popular Anamon the Rune Thief builds. It's also seeing increased play now in some new builds like Nimra Una's Trickster, as well as a deck consisting of 2 partner commanders, Eligeth Crossroads Augur, and Cyane, Eye of the Storm. Number 1 is Grim Tutor from Starter 1999. This continues to lose a lot of value, going down $18.67 this week to $130.54. This was reprinted in Core Set 2021, and when that reprint happened, this lost value, but it kind of stuck around the $170 mark for a little while. Those days are gone, obviously, as this does continue to crash. Now, it doesn't see a lot of standard play or anything, but it is a tutor. You know it's always going to see a good amount of play in Commander. That takes us to the top 7 standard legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 7 is Nyx Bloom Ancient, up 58 cents to $17.02. This has been a popular Commander card, and now it is seeing more play. It's in the Yurlok of Scorched Thrash builds. You're also going to find this in Emoti Celebrant of Bounty decks, and some other new builds too. Number 6 is the Ozolith. This goes up 60 cents to $6.94. Doesn't see a lot of standard play, but you will find this in Modern Hardened Scales builds now. It has seen increased Commander play too around a couple new cards from Commander Legends, Hamza Guardian of Arashen, and Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn. Number 5 is Arcane Signet. This is the copy though from Commander Legends. It goes up 61 cents this week to $3. Obviously this has become a Commander staple. Number 4 is Dryad of the Elysian Grove, up 64 cents to $14. It doesn't see a lot of standard play. That seems to be the theme today, but it does see play in Modern Eladamri's Toolbox builds. It's also an Amulet Titan and more there. And it does see a little Legacy play too. It is, however, a highly played Commander card and has seen increased play in that format in Omnith Locus of Creation, Obun Moldiah Ancestor, AC Tyrant of Gyre Strait, and Averna the Chaos Bloom builds. Number 3 is Ugin the Spirit Dragon. This is the copy from Fate Reforged, up 99 cents to $25.04, and this has been soft ever since it's been reprinted in Core Set 2021, but this week, after a very long time, the card begins to go up a little bit. Now, unlike a lot of the cards we're talking about today, this one actually does see play in Standard. You'll find this in Temur Ramp, Mono Green Food, and more. In Pioneer, it's in Lotus Combo, 4-color Omnith, and Modern, it's in Tron. Even see some Legacy play too, but Like a lot of the cards we're talking about today, it's also a fantastic commander card. It's in Kozilek the Great Distortion, attracts the Praetor's Voice, and more there. And yup, it is seeing some increased play too around some new Commander Legends cards like Belby Corrupted Observer and Demodi Celebranta Bounty. Number 2 is the Great Henge. This card is all over standard. It's going up $1.28 this week to $29.39. You'll find this in Gruul and Golgari Adventures. It's in Mono Green Food, Temur Ramp, and much more in the format. Pioneer, it's in Mono Green Planeswalkers, and it is a big commander card too, now seeing more play in new builds like Hamza Guardian of Erashin, Emoti Celebrant of Bounty, and more. It also did get a Command Zone mention this week, which could have brought more attention to it as well. And number 1 is a card from a Secret Lair. This is Scavenging Ooze from the Prime Slime Secret Lair. It goes up $2.48 to $13.53. Another card seeing a ton of standard play. Gruul Adventures, Mono Green Food, and more. Pioneer, it's in Mono Green Planeswalkers, Gruul Midrange, and more there. Modern, this card sees play in Heliod Company, Gruul Midrange, and more in that format. See some Legacy play too. And yup, it is also seeing additional commander play thanks to Commander Legends. You'll find this in builds like Hamza Guardian of Erashin, Lathael the Bounteous Dawn, and more. And that brings us to Pioneering, your top 5 Pioneer legal cards that have lost value this week. Number 5 is Omnith Locus of the Royal. It goes down 74 cents to $14.40. This card had increased pretty aggressively recently when Zendikar Rising came out. Now it is finally normalizing. It is a fairly popular commander, and it is seeing play in Omnith Locus of Creation builds too. Also, it has seen some increased play in commander with Averna the Chaos Bloom. Number 4 is Ramanap Excavator. The copy from Commander Legends goes down 79 cents to $4.45. You'll actually find that in the Commander Legends commander deck Reap the Tides. That's the one that has AC Tyrant of Gyre Strait in it. And the Hour of Devastation copy goes down 94 cents to $7.97. Speaking of commander, this is a huge commander card. It is seeing increased play now in Omnith Locus of Creation, and also with the partner commanders Kodama of the East Tree and Togo Goblin Weaponsmith. And of course, it's in a lot of other decks in that format too. Outside of Commander, this does not see a lot of Pioneer play, but many times you will find this in modern Eladamri's Toolbox decks. Also, it sees a fair amount of Legacy play. Number 3 is Liliana Heretical Healer. This goes down $1.02 to $16.49. This isn't really seeing much Pioneer play anymore. It does still see some Commander play. It is a fairly popular commander, as a matter of fact. Also, you'll find it in decks like Aura Skyclave Hierophant and the new Nevinyrral Urborg Tyrant builds, and other places too in the commander format. Number 2 is Omnith Locus of Rage. This is the copy from the list. It goes down $1.24 to $8.37 this week. This was also reprinted in the Zendikar Rising Landswrath commander deck as well recently. This is a popular commander. It's also seen increased play in Omnith Locus of Creation, Obun Moldiah Ancestor, Averna the Chaos Bloom, and again that combination of partner commanders Kodama and Togo. And number 1 is another card from the list trying to find its price point. It is Monastery Mentor, going down $1.91 to $15.11 this week. This doesn't see a lot of Pioneer play, but it does see a little bit of play in Modern, Legacy, and Commander, but it makes the biggest impact on the Vintage format. That brings us to the top 6 Pioneer legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 6 is Scapeshift, the copy from Core Set 2019. It goes up $1.23 to $20.68. This is a bounce back week for this card since it has been losing a little value recently. This is in modern Scapeshift builds, of course, and sometimes you'll find it in Temur Uro there too. Commander, this is in lands builds and more, and has seen some more play recently in Omnith Locus of Creation, Averna the Chaos Bloom, AC Tyrant of Gyre Strait, Arkelos Lagoon Mystic, and again Kodama and Togo builds. Number 5 is Temple Garden, the original copy from Ravnica City of Guilds. It goes up $1.26 to $15. This card has been pretty turbulent recently, actually. Now, you'll find this one in Niv to Light, 4-color Omnith, and more in Pioneer. And like all Shocklands, it's also going to show up in Modern and Commander too. Number 4 is Mana Confluence. This is the copy from Journey into Nyx. It goes up $1.48 to $20.38. This is rebounding after some recent losses. Those losses are due to the fact that this was reprinted not once but twice. This is a Zendikar Rising Expedition now, and it also was the Buy a Box promo for Commander Legends. In Pioneer, you're going to find this one in Niv to Light, Naya Midrange, and more. It sees a little Legacy play too, and of course it's a huge Commander mana-based card. Number 3 is Demonic Pact. It goes up $1.87 to $4.78, and this is another card that has seen increased Commander play because of Commander Legends. You'll find this in builds like Blim Comedic Genius, Gen Arcanum Weaver, and Obeka Brute Chronologist. Number 2 is Crucible of Worlds. The core set 2019 copy climbs back up a little bit this week, up 205 to 4225. Not really a Pioneer card, and it doesn't see as much play in Modern and Vintage as it once did, but it is still kicking around there. Modern, you'll find this in Tron builds, Vintage, Golo stacks, and more. It is a highly played Commander card, though, in lands builds and more. It has seen increased play, as you could imagine, in Omnith Locus of Creation, Obun Moldaya Ancestor, AC Tyrant of Gyre Wrath, and again, Kodama and Togo builds. Number 1 is Gulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. It goes up $2.22 to $48, and this one bounces back after some pretty big losses recently, in spite of the fact that it's a pretty highly played card. In Pioneer, you're going to find this in Mono Green Planeswalkers. Modern, it's in Tron, Legacy, Mono Green Cloudpost, and more. And yup, it's in Commander, Kozilek the Great Distortion builds and more there. And it has been seeing some play in newer builds like Belby Corrupted Observer and Demoti Celebranta Bounty. And that's going to take us to Modern and your top 7 Modern legal cards that have lost value this week. Coming in at number 7 is Sword of Light and Shadow. This is the one from Darksteel. It goes down $2.84 this week to $27.17. This was reprinted in Double Masters, which is why it is soft right now. It is a solid Commander card, though, seeing more play now in new builds like Akiri Fearless Voyager, Wyleth Soul of Steel, and the partner commanders Arden Intrepid Archaeologist and Rogue Rock, Son of Roga. However, they're not always paired together running this card. Sometimes they are, but other times you'll find them paired with other partner commanders. Number 6, Oracle of Moldaya from Zendikar, recently reprinted in Jumpstart, which is why it is soft right now. It goes down $2.88 to $34.99. And this is a highly played commander card, now seeing additional play. And you guessed it, Omnith Locus of Creation, AC Tyrants of Gyre Straits, Obun Moldaya Ancestor, and Averna the Chaos Bloom. Number 5 is Cavern of Souls. This is the one from Ultimate Masters. It goes down $3.08 this week to $66.66. This was reprinted as a Zendikar Expedition not too long ago, and ever since then, the other copies have been soft. You will find this in a lot of Modern builds, though. Eladamri's Toolbox, Amulet Titan, Eldrazi Tron, Human, Spirits, Merfolk, and more. Also sees Legacy, Vintage, and lots of Commander play. And it has been seeing increased play in Anawan the Rune Thief recently in Commander. Admiral Beckett Brass, not that that card's new, but there's a lot of new pirates that are going into those builds from Commander Legends. And additionally, Abomination of Llanowar. Number 4 is Sword of Fire and Ice. This is the copy from Darksteel, going down $3.68 to $52.92. This was also reprinted in Double Masters recently. Sees Modern play in various builds with Stoneforge Mystic. Legacy, it's in Death and Taxes and more there. It is a popular Commander card too, and it is seeing more play in all the decks that I just mentioned when we talked about Sword of Light and Shadow. Number 3 is Scalding Tarn. This is the one from the Secret Lair Ultimate Edition. It goes down $3.87 this week to $61. This was also recently reprinted as a Zendikar Rising Expedition, and we know that it's going to be reprinted again next year in Modern Horizons 2. Because of all that, you are starting to see some of the enemy fetches soften up a little bit, like this one here. This, of course, is going to see play in Uro Omnith, Jeskai Control, and more in Modern. Also, like all the fetch lands, you'll find this in Legacy, Vintage, and Commander 2. Number 2 is Polluted Delta from Onslaught. It goes down $4.78 this week to $49.24 after a pretty big spike that occurred recently, which seemed kind of unusual. So this is mostly just normalization off that spike. This does see play in Modern, Sultai Uro, and more. And again, you'll find this in Legacy, Vintage, and Commander 2. And number 1 is Rings of Bright Hearth from Lorwyn. It goes down $4.99 to $43.98. This is a very popular Commander card and combo enabler in the format. It's found in Urza Lord High Artificer builds and much more. However, it was recently reprinted in Commander Legends. That brings us to the top 5 Modern legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 5 is Lightning Bolt. This is the copy, though, from the list. It goes up $2.51 this week to $22.29 as it's trying to find its price point. Highly played card in Modern, Legacy, Vintage, and Commander. Number 4 is Auriok Champion, the iconic Masters copy, up $2.29 to $17.11. Fifth Dawn goes up $3.04 to $23.24. This is another card that does see Modern play. It's in Heliod Company, Humans, and more, and it has seen increased play in Commander and Aura Skyclave Hierophant builds because it is a cleric. Some players are also interested in this because it is a mono-white human, and they may want to build around Rick Grimes' Steadfast Leader from the Walking Dead Secret Lair. And this also got a push from some cards in Commander Legends, Lathael the Bounteous Dawn, and Lisa Shroud of Dusk. Number 3 is Oboro Palace in the Clouds, another card that actually does see play in Modern. It goes up $3.04 this week to $53.57. You're going to find this one in Izzet Control, Mill, Mono Blue Tron, and more. But yes, it also has seen increased Commander play in Omnith Locus of Creation, AC Tyrant of Gyre Straits, and more. Mirror Gallery is number 2. It goes up $3.97 to $24.24, and this is moving because of a new partner commander from Commander Legends, Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. And number 1 is Cedrus the Trader King. This goes up $20.20 to $27.45, and this is seeing increased play with Obeka Brute Chronologist and Commander. And that's going to take us to the Vintage Spotlight. This is where we talk about cards that see play in Vintage, Legacy, 93, 94, or cards that are just popular among collectors. We're going to begin with a new card from Commander Legends. It is Hull Breacher. It goes up $2.84 this week to $20.98. This is already seeing a lot of Commander play in various builds, new and old. But the reason it's moving up this week when a lot of the cards from the set are going down as packs are getting cracked is because it is turning out to be a good Legacy and Vintage card. Pleasant Kenobi actually did a video about the card for Channel Fireball this week, and it did get a Command Zone mention too. Next we have a forest, but it's not any forest. It's the one you see on the screen here that is from Deckmasters Garfield vs. Finkel. It dried up in the online marketplace, going up $3.05 this week to $3.33. One reason that this might have dried up this week, other than just pure randomness, could be the Keldheim packaging. That was released this week by Wizards, and it does have a very wintry feel to it. Lion's Eye Diamond, this one's on the reserve list. It goes up $4.46 this week to $341.75. You'll find this in Legacy Doomsday, Karn Echoes, the Epic Storm, and more. Also sees Vintage and Commander play. Force of Will, Eternal Masters up $261 to $94.49. And the Double Masters copy goes up $4.89 this week to $89.87. This sees Legacy, Vintage, and Commander play. Berserk from Unlimited jumps up $10.05 this week to $109.94. Taiga from Revised, this is on the reserve list of course, it goes up $10.33 to $3.09 this week. Gaia's Cradle from Urza's Saga on the reserve list, but it did get one more printing as a Judge Foil before they close that loophole. It goes up $11.43 this week to $714.99. Still sticking around that $700 price point for the most part. It does see play in Legacy, Elves, and more, also sees Vintage and Commander play. And it is seeing more Commander play now in Abomination of Llanowar and some other new builds. Nether Shadow from Unlimited goes up $14.54 to $45.98 this week. Typhoon, this one's on the reserve list. It goes up $17.08 to $39.95. Ring of Immortals, also on the reserve list. It goes up $17.55 to $64.50. Bayou from Revised on the reserve list, up $24.22 to $424.20. Bartel Runax on the reserve list, up $25 to $125. Balance from Unlimited, up $27.73 this week to $77.98. Dak and Blackblade from Legends, up $28.29 to $139.99. I actually think this should have fallen off if I took the data at the same time that I took the data last week. But regardless, it gets one more week here in the video. The price point, I will say, is about accurate though. Last week I did see a copy selling for about $135, and I have not noticed as much market manipulation in general over the last few weeks. When you do see cards moving larger amounts like you're about to see with these next few cards, it really is more due to the fact that there's higher grade copies either for sale or sold in the previous week. Sorcerer's Queen from Arabian Nights, it goes up $45.60 to $133.83. Savannah, this is the one from Unlimited. Of course, it is on the reserve list, but did get printed one more time and revised. This copy, though, goes up $52.08 to $499.95. Sylvan Library, 4th edition, goes up $203 this week to $57.02. The Legends copy up $72.50 to $223. This sees play in Legacy, Snowco, Temur Delver, and more. Also, it's in Vintage, and it gets a ton of Commander play. Drop of Honey on the reserve list, it goes up $80.93 this week to $94.48. Wheel of Fortune on the reserve list, but it did get one more printing as a Judge Foil before they close that loophole. Revised up $219 to $229.24. Unlimited up $99.51 to $599.50. This sees play in Vintage as well as Commander. Candelabra of Tawnos on the reserve list, up $211.46 to $876.12 this week. And Black Lotus, of course, on the reserve list. This is the copy from Unlimited. It goes up $1,568.40 to $11,468.39. And that brings us to the Commander Spotlight. There's a lot of cards in this Commander Spotlight, so I'm going to try to go as quickly as possible through these. Bloodforged Battle Axe, this goes up $1.01 to $11.94. Solid Commander card, seeing more play now in those same decks I mentioned when I was talking about the swords a moment ago. Grand Abolisher, this is the one from Commander 2014. It goes up $1.02 to $21.01. This does see some modern main and sideboard play, but of course it does see Commander play as well. And it has seen more play recently since it is a card that takes some options away from the Marlin of the Mornsong opposition agent strategies. It has been seeing some play in new builds as well in the format, like Quain, Itinerant Meddler. Thorn of Amethyst, this goes up $1.03 to $20.06. Sees some Commander play in various builds, also sees Legacy and Vintage play. Elvish Champion, the copy from 7th edition, dries up a little bit this week online. It goes up at $5 to $5.57. This has seen increased Commander play, though, due to Abomination of Llanowar and some other new partner commanders. Myara, Thorn of the Glade, Numa Joraga Chieftain, and Nadir, Agent of the Duskanel. Cyclonic Rift, this is the copy from Double Masters. Huge Commander staple, also sees a little Pioneer in Modern play. This copy goes up at $5 to $20.99. Edgar Markov, this is only found in foil. It goes up at $5 to $25.73. Very popular commander, and it was not reprinted in Commander Legends as an etched foil. Gemstone Mine, this is the copy from the list, trying to find its price point. It goes up at $6 to $9.73. This does see Commander play as well as Modern and Legacy play in a number of decks. Temporal Manipulation, the copy from Portal 2nd Age, drying up a little bit over the course of the last few weeks. It is getting harder to find in good condition. It goes up at $6 this week to $44.49. This was reprinted in the list, and it does see a fair amount of Commander play. Rhystic Study, highly played Commander card in multiple builds. The Jumpstart copy up at $3 to $29.17. The Prophecy copy up at $8 this week to $23.36. Land Tax, the copy from Double Masters, goes up at $8 to $29.20. Fantastic Commander card for white. Urza's Incubator, this is the original one from Urza's Destiny. Great tribal card in Commander. It goes up at $10 to $22.36. Null Rod on the reserve list. It goes up at $11 to $65.69. This is in Legacy, Vintage, and it does see some Commander play too. Sneak Attack, the one from Double Masters, it goes up at $13 to $14.59. Now this does see play, of course, in Legacy, Sneak and Show, but it is seeing increased Commander play now in Obeka Brute Chronologist builds. Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, the one from Planar Chaos, it goes up at $14 to $30.49. Now this is a highly played Commander card. As a matter of fact, it got a Command Zone mention this week, which could have brought some more eyes to it. It's also a good Pioneer card. You'll find this in Mono Black Aggro, Vampires, Rakdos, Pyromancer, and more there. It even sees Modern and Legacy play too. Liliana of the Veil, this is the one from Ultimate Masters. It goes up at $14 to $59.85 this week. And when you look at this card, you might think of this more as a Modern card. It's in Jund, Orzhov, Stoneblade, and more there. It even sees some Legacy play, but it has seen increased Commander play recently in Tiny Bones Trinket Thief decks. Sea of Clouds, you're going to see more of the ones from this cycle on the list today. They were all reprinted as Zendikar Expeditions recently. They're all great Commander mana-based cards. This one goes up at $15 to $14.04. Colony Hydra, this is the one from the list. It goes up at $16 to $17.53. This is good in Commander, Gargos, Vicious Watcher builds, and more. 1,000 Year Elixir, the original copy from Lorwyn. It goes up at $16 to $14.99. This is seeing some increased Commander play with new commanders that have activated abilities from Commander Legends. Things like Obeka Brute Chronologist, Arami of the Dead Tide, Yurlok of Scorched Thrash, Gun Arcanum Weaver, and Quain Itinerant Meddler. Fury Storm, this is good with partner commanders, new and old. It goes up at $20 to $4.35. Noble Hierarch for Modern Masters 2015. It goes up at $21 to $17.35. This was reprinted in Double Masters. Rebounds a little bit from recent losses. This is a huge Commander staple. Also sees play in Modern, Infect, Heliod Company, Humans, and more. Beyond that, you'll find this card in Legacy and Vintage too. Lotus Bloom, this is the copy from the list. It goes up at $23 to $8.36. In Modern, this is an ad nauseum, but it also sees a fair amount of Commander play. Bloom Tender, the one from Mystery Booster, it goes up at $25 to $27.47. Popular Commander card, and it is seeing more play now in Omnith Locus of Creation and Archelos Lagoon Mystic builds. Cloud Key, popular Commander card in many builds. It goes up at $27 to $29. Neith of the Dire Hunt, this goes up at $31 to $11.31. This has been a fairly popular Commander ever since it came out. Now it is seeing some more play with new cards from Commander Legends, Jared Cathalion, True Heir, and Hans Eriksson. Krovax the Curse, this goes up at $31 to $11.39. This sees a little Commander play, but the main reason it's going up this week is because it is on the reserve list. You're going to see some other cards in this section that are pretty much doing the same thing. They see a little play in the format, but the main reason they're moving is because players have seen a lot of reserve list cards going up in value pretty quickly recently. In some cases, they're targeted buyouts. In other cases, they just dry up more naturally. But regardless, there are players prioritizing some of these reserve list cards because they want to pick them up before there's more price increases. I won't call that out for every card on the reserve list in this section, but just know that that's going on. Ball Lightning, the original copy from the Dark, goes up at $31 to $28.24. This does see some Commander play. Akroma's Memorial, this is the one from Magic 2013. It goes up at $33 to $28.79. This was reprinted in the list, and this card does see some more play now in Commander because of Commander Legends. Many times this is showing up in decks where one of the partner commanders is a Chroma Vision of Ixidor. Teferi's Protection, this is getting a reprint in the Extra Life 2020 Secret Lair, but it is still a phenomenal card in white for multiple decks in the format. Commander 2017 goes up $1.26 to $38.63. Mystery Booster up $1.34 to $36.34. Skull Clamp, this is the one from the list. It is a huge Commander card, seeing some more play now in Thalisse Reverent Medium builds. It goes up $1.37 to $7.87. City of Brass, the copy from Modern Masters, goes up $1.37 to $20.99. Huge Commander mana-based card. In Modern, it sees play in Ad Nauseam and Dredge. Legacy, it also sees play in Dredge as well as Dark Depths builds. Phyrexian Altar, the Invasion copy up $1.09 to $44.83. The Ultimate Masters copy up $1.38 to $41.37. This is a solid Commander card and combo enabler. It is seeing more play now in builds like Nevinyrral Urborg Tyrant, Thalisse Reverent Medium, and others. Archfiend of Despair, this combos with a card from Zendikar Rising, Scourge of the Sky Claves. It goes up $1.39 this week to $22.37, and this is also seeing some increased play in Urlock of Scorched Thrash builds. Ancient Tomb, the original one from Tempest, it goes up $1.40 to $39.52. This was reprinted as a Zendikar Rising Expedition, but it is a huge Commander staple. Also sees Legacy and Vintage play. Here's another Battlebound land. Luxury Suite goes up $1.41 to $15.28. Mycosynth Golem, this is the one from the list. It goes up $1.42 to $19.99. And this has been a solid card in Commander Artifact builds for a while. It is seeing some increased play now with a lot of the new cards from Commander Legends, some of which we already mentioned. Some other partner commanders that might be interested in this, though, are Rebek Architect of Ascension, Armix Filigree Thrasher, and Iktekik Salvage Splicer. Mana Vault, this is the copy from 4th edition. Huge Commander card, great vintage card. This goes up $1.45 to $47.32. Extra Planar Lens, this goes up $1.44 this week to $39.02. This is really good in monocolor Commander decks, also good with snow-covered basic lands. And again, with the Kaldheim packaging looking really snowy, players are speculating that maybe Snowlands are coming back. Frankenstein's Monster, this one's on the reserve list. It goes up $1.45 to $16.27. Piracy, the copy from Portal 2nd Age, goes up $1.45 to $28.06 this week. I think some players are picking this up for flavor reasons if they are thinking of building a new pirate deck around some of those new Commander Legends pirates. Sliver Legion from Future Sight. Of course, Sliver decks are always popular in Commander. This one goes up $1.46 to $94.25. Vidalcan Orrery, the one from Conspiracy, up $1.48 to $34.30. Huge Commander card in numerous builds. Jester's Cap from Ice Age. This is the original copy, drying up a little bit this week. It does see some Commander play. It goes up $1.49 to $6.81. Conqueror's Flail. This is another piece of equipment that, sure, it is moving up because of some of the Commander Legends cards I mentioned when we talked about the swords. However, there is another card pushing this a little bit from that set, and that is Urlock of Scorched Thrash. This goes up $1.56 this week to $20.49. Titania Protector of Argoth. This is the one from Commander 2014. It goes up $1.56 to $23.93. This has seen increased Commander play in Omnith Locus of Creation and AC Tyrant of Gyre Strait. Stone Calendar on the reserve list. It goes up $1.57 to $24.10. Tezzeret the Seeker up $1.58 to $18.90. This is the one from Modern Masters 2015. Good Commander card. It's in Urzalord High Artificer and much more. Kindred Discovery up $1.60 to $28.03. Great Tribal Commander card. Seeing more play now because of those pirates that I've been mentioning in Commander Legends. Also, this has been seeing more play in Anawan the Rune Thief builds too. Bitter Blossom from Modern Masters 2015 up $1.60 to $35.21. Another card you'll find in Anawan the Rune Thief builds. Also seeing increased play in Thalisse Reverent Medium and more. In Modern, too, you'll find this in Orzhov Stoneblade, and it sees a little Legacy play as well. Another Battlebound land. This is Morphic Pool, up $1.62 to $20.28. Pure Steel Paladin, up $1.67 to $7.66. This is the one from New Phyrexia. It did get a reprinting in Double Masters not too long ago. Has been soft, but now it's rebounding a little bit. Solid Commander card. Again, seeing play in a lot of the same decks that we were talking about when we discussed the swords earlier. Also, it does get a little Modern play, too. Deflecting SWAT, this whole cycle is great in the format. This card goes up $1.67 to $19.78. Scroll Rack, this is the one from Commander Legends. It goes up $1.68 to $26.19. Great card in general, but especially good in Yuriko the Tiger Shadow builds. This has also seen increased play now in Hans Eriksson and some other new decks. Consecrated Sphinx, highly played Commander card, seeing more play now in Quain Itinerant Meddler builds. Mirrodin Besieged goes up $1.34 to $31.34. Iconic Masters up $1.68 to $32.89. Force of Negation. When you look at this card, you might think Modern, Legacy, even Vintage, but it has been seeing more and more Commander play, especially in competitive builds. It goes up this week $1.69 to $47.69. Dosin the Falling Leaf. This is seeing more play because of Yurlok of Scorched Thrash. This goes up $1.74 to $9.50. Goblin Settler. This is seeing a little Commander play here or there, but it is getting hard to find in good condition and drying up online a little this week. It goes up $1.74 to $36.74. Title Control on the reserve list up $1.81 to $6.54, but unlike some of the other cards on the reserve list we've been talking about, there is a reason this could be going up. There are a lot of strong decks right now that are running green and red. Omnith Locus of Creation, Obun Moldaya Ancestor, and now you have Yurlok of Scorched Thrash out there too. Marlin of the Morn Song up $1.81 to $26.74. This spiked back when Opposition Agent was revealed. Since then, it has dipped back down, but now we see it climbing again, so it could be trying to find its new price point. It has seen increased Commander play since that card came out as both a Commander and in the 99 with that card. Enlightened Tutor, this is the copy from the list. It goes up $1.82 to $41.72. Highly played Commander card. This is getting a push from Commander Legends cards as well, though. Again, Arcanum Weaver, Ardent Intrepid Archaeologist, and more. Also got a Command Zone mention this week. Underground River. These Ally Painlands have been pretty hot recently, and they really only see play in Commander. The 7th edition copy goes up $1.02 to $7.59. The 6th edition copy up $1.84 to $8.99. Allosaurus Shepherd up $1.84 to $89.49. This has seen increased Commander play in Abomination of Llanowar builds, but of course this card got famous because of the legacy play it saw in Elves and more. Pact of Negation, another card that when you look at it you might think like Modern or Legacy, but it has seen increased play now in Commander with Obeka Brute Chronologist. Modern Masters goes up $1.19 to $30.48. The copy from the list goes up $1.86 to $34.92. Urza Lord High Artificer, very popular Commander, also sees Modern, Legacy, and Vintage play. This goes up $1.88 to $37. Mana Crypt, the copy for Mystery Booster, it goes up $1.89 to $91.89. Also got a reprinting in Double Masters recently. Great Vintage and great Commander card. Muxus Goblin Grandy. This has been a popular Commander ever since it came out, but it also shows up in other Goblin builds like Krenko Mob Boss, for example. Also sees play in Legacy Goblins. This goes up $2.03 to $31.52. Dockside Extortionist up $2.08 to $34.97. Extremely popular Commander card and combo enabler in the format. And it's in some new builds like Obeka Brute Chronologist and these new Admiral Beckett Brass builds that are running these pirates from Commander Legends that also, remember, have a treasure token sub-theme attached to them. Personal Tutor, it is a tutor, so you know it's going to see some Commander play. It is getting harder to find in good condition. This goes up $2.08 this week to $48.39. Kiki Tiki Mirror Breaker, the original copy from Champions of Kamigawa, it goes up $2.14 to $27.10. And this is seeing increased Commander play with Obeka Brute Chronologist as well. And of course it does see some Modern play too. Overabundance up $2.16 to $11.16. This is seeing increased Commander play in Yurlok of Scorched Thrash builds. Stitch in Time seeing increased Commander play because of Krark the Thumbless. Guild Pack goes up $1.87 to $6.22. The Guilds of Ravnica is a Guild Kit copy, goes up $2.19 to $5.56. Exorcist on the reserve list up $2.27 to $12.68. Eladamri's Vineyard up $2.37 to $18. This has been a great group hug card in Commander for a very long time now, and it is seeing some more play in Yurlok of Scorched Thrash builds currently. Awakening, this is the one from the list. It goes up $2.43 to $12.50. It has seen increased play also in Yurlok of Scorched Thrash builds. Krark's Thumb, of course, being pushed by Krark the Thumbless. This is the copy from the list going up $2.44 to $23.99. Metalworker on the reserve list, it goes up $2.61 to $107.52 this week. Good in Kozilek the Great Distortion builds and more. Replenish on the reserve list up $2.76 to $93.01. This has seen increased play in again Arcanum Weaver builds. Mana Drain from Iconic Masters goes up $2.77 to $98.96. This lost a lot of value over the last couple of weeks once we found out it was going to be in Commander Legends, but it is rebounding a little bit this week trying to find its new price point. This is a fantastic Commander card in a lot of decks. Liege of the Hollows goes up $3 to $7.99. It is on the reserve list, but it is moving up because of a new secret layer called We Hope You Like Squirrels. Cover of Darkness, this is seeing some increased play in those new Admiral Beckett Brass builds, as well as Anawan the Rune Thief decks. This goes up $3.01 this week to $23.22. Sarah Sanctum on the reserve list up 303 to 187.60. And this does see more commander play now because of Gen Arcanum Weaver. It also is in Legacy Enchantress decks, and it did get a command zone mention this week too. MEL of the Blessed, it goes up 324 to 47.24. Very popular commander in a short time that it's been around, and it is seeing some more play in Omnith Locus of Creation builds, and also in some builds based around Commander Legends cards like Hamza Guardian of Arashin and Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn. Cleansing on the reserve list, it goes up 334 to 1870. Dance of Many, this does see some commander play in Brutaclad, Telcor Engineer, and more. The original copy from the Dark drawing up a little bit online this week as it goes up $3.99 to $8.99. City of Shadows on the reserve list. This was the target of a buyout not too long ago. Since then, the price came back down. And I do think at this point, maybe it's low enough that people are jumping back on it. It goes up $4 to $59.99. Mana Flare, this is the copy from 5th edition, and this is kind of weird. It's going up $4.71 to $16.99. It's very dry online right now. But you can still get copies from Revised and 4th edition for basically the same price they were like 3 weeks ago. Now, this is seeing increased commander play because of Yearlock of Scorched Thrash, and it did get a command zone mention this week too. Sekishima of 1,000 Faces, this goes up $4.97 to $24.36. A lot of the Commander Legends cards are going down because it is right after the release, of course, but I do think a lot of people overlooked this one during the pre-release time, and it is starting to move up. Goblin Wizard, this is on the reserve list. This could be the start of a buyout, but this does see a little more commander play than some of the other cards we've been talking about. Occasionally it does show up in a Goblin build there. It goes up $8.32 this week to $70.64. Tectonic Instability, this goes up $8.70 this week to $11.66. And this is in Commander Yearlock of Scorched Thrash builds. Preacher on the reserve list. Now, this is another card that was the target of a buyout, and then it stabilized a little bit. Now it's jumping up again. This could be a secondary buyout. It goes up $8.72 to $79.95. This card has seen increased commander play in Aura Skyclave Hierophant builds. It is a cleric. It is also a mono white human, so some players might want it for Rick Steadfast Leader builds too. Final Fortune, of course, moving up now because of Obeka Brute Chronologist. This also got a command zone mention this week. The 6th edition copy kind of tanked today. I do think it could be a situation where maybe there was a sale, or maybe somebody doesn't watch these Market Watch videos and sold a bunch of copies really cheap this week. I do expect that to rebound relatively quickly though. These other two copies continue to go up. 7th edition goes up $10.48 to $32.50. Mirage up $13.83 to $32.81. And another card that's moving because of Obeka Brute Chronologist, another card that got a command zone mention this week too. Last Chance Portal goes up $16.63 to $89.99. Starter $19.99 goes up $35.63 to $112.02. And that brings us to the Premium Spotlight. I haven't been able to find cards for this section for a couple weeks. Well, this week I was able to find 4. Now, I don't like to spend too much time talking about rare promos or foils because if you don't have a lot of sales on a card in any given week online, you sometimes get some bad data. And worst case scenario, that data can be manipulated. But I like to find a few cards every week that feel like they're moving mostly naturally with the market. First, we have the foil copy of Tectonic Instability from Invasion. It goes up $7.94 to $24.57. Next is the foil Cedrus the Traitor King from Shards of Alara. This goes up $9.90 to $58.71. This is a card we actually didn't talk about in today's video. It is Mogcatcher from Nemesis. The foil copy is going up $25.29 to $79.99. The non-foil just missed the list by a couple cents this week. Now, this was recently reprinted in the list, and it does show up in Commander Goblin builds like Krenko Mob Boss. And finally, we have Stitch in Time. The foil copy from Guild Pack goes up $47.49 this week to $99.99. Alright, that does it for this episode of the Market Watch. If you stuck with me to the end, I appreciate that. Thank you. And until next time, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.